Hi. Let me back out of that and get some music going.
Galaxy S8 disconnected.
How's everyone feeling? Whew, it's pretty intense right now, huh? Let's see, what do we need? Oh, we definitely need that in the background. Okay. Hi, welcome. So, the energy's been incredibly intense today. Let me just get set up here. So, let's see if I can this set wide so I can possibly bring someone on with me. And just to be aware, I noticed just as I went to live, Trump is also live. I think everything happens in right alignment and divine timing. Thank you all for being here. And it got brought to my attention that there is a hurricane brewing right now, increasing in strength. There's a lot of symbology around storms. Thank you, Ryan. Blessings to everyone. And it's interesting, just as I was looking for that video of our beloved Mama Gaia, I noticed that Trump had been doing another live stream speaking about, and all I saw was just the closed captioning of him saying he had to fight everyone. I've had to fight everyone, even the people that you think have been on your side. I've had to fight everyone. And that's a perspective I think a lot of us have been looking at. We've been so locked into this process of fighting everyone. We've lost track of where the true power comes from. It doesn't come from fighting. True empowerment comes from loving. True empowerment comes from being able to be vulnerable and hold space, even when there is a storm brewing, even when there is a potential tempest brewing. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate you being here. So, the very simple title of this is Heart Coherence, because that's what we're being asked to bring forward in these times. The rising of the divine feminine is this sense of nourishing, nurturing energy, unity, coming together, realizing we're all one tribe, we're all one species, we're all humanity here on this planet. And there's some of us that are living an illusion that they're in more control. Yes, it comes from within. And the energetic systems of the planet have been under control of a few people who are misled by where real power comes from. Thank you, Robin. And it comes from within, but it comes from our inner connection with love, our inner connection with Source, our inner connection with God, Goddess, all that is, whatever we would term that. It doesn't come from an individual sense of self. Well, that's where these energy systems are going wrong. That's where those who believe that they can control the weather and have found scientific ways to do so, that's valid. But they're causing pain to themselves. They're causing pain to the whole in doing so. Let's turn it around. All is good. All is good. Why are they doing this? To show us that all is good. We've just been in pain. We've just been in this state of perpetuating what we don't want to see. Thinking that we have to fight with each other. Thinking that it has to be a battle or a fight to begin with. That's where we lost track. There is good in everything. God is good. All is good. Everything's teaching us a lesson. Everything's showing us the things that we need to recognize and understand, to be in the present moment, to bring everything forward to a reconciliation, to a point of oneness and wholeness. And the things that are showing up as less than love, the things that are showing up in a fear-based program, are simply the things and the parts of us. There are no things, thank you. The parts of us that are falling into the illusion that is less than love. It's calling out for love. Everything is love or a call for more love. We're talking about the present situation, where everything is at, just being in the present moment, heart coherence. Thank you, Ryan. And the feminine is the heart. The feminine is the feeling. The feminine is the emotions. The feminine has been in that sense of overwhelm because it's not something that we can control. It's not something that we can just rein in and force into a system. Exactly, Trisha. We can change the narrative. I choose a different outlook, a world full of love, compassion, community, and wholeness for all. And that's the vision that we need to hold. That's the vision that we are infusing collective conscious with now. That's the vision that we are putting into that intentionality of realizing that the true power comes from that anything that we've been seeking and any of these lines of showing that we have some sense of power and control over this expression here on this physical planet, all of that is simply seeking this connection with the heart, this connection with love. That's where the true fulfillment is. It's not going to be found in being the most powerful or the one who has the most money, the one who seems to have the most control over humanity, over society, over nature itself. We can create energy systems that control the weather. Should we? Yeah, the feminine energy is screaming out, but it's also rising up. So much love. And this is the reconciliation of Lilith and Eve. Many of us have been looking at the story of Adam and Eve, but you have to have the complete story. And you have to recognize that that story wasn't even the beginning. The way that story's told is meant to go back to the beginning, but the beginning was before all of that. In the beginning, there was love. In the beginning, it was all good. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, intention. We are powerful with guidance from divine, which lies deep within. Exactly. And when we tap into that space and we tap into that and we recognize and we realize that the true power comes from that. The true power comes from our ability to connect with love, our ability to connect with the union with God, the union of source, energy. Anything that we're trying to control on this planet, that we're trying to control the frequency and the energy systems, we're trying to control the very nature of reality by controlling the weather to prove that we can, or to create destruction and dissension and division, to create chaos, to create some kind of crazy chaos where people are afraid and therefore looking to the people that are in power to save them. That's really just all the places that have been wounding screaming out for love. They're just screaming out for love. And so what do? We wrap our arms around them. We become the true goddess. We become the true womb. And we wrap our arms around everything. And we wrap this love around everything. And we accept it. And we love it, and we give it what it actually needs, which is love. They want attention. They want to show that, oh, I'm so powerful. I'm all powerful. Pay attention to me. I want to control everything. I want to show you that I'm so powerful that I can even control the weather. I can even subdue and submit Gaia, the representation of the goddess, the representation of the feminine. But why? It's a scream for love. It's a call for love. All fulfillment on this earthly plane is seeking that connection with love. God is love. That's all it's seeking. And those who are in power right now are aware of that. And that's why they're speaking out and saying things like, oh, I've had to fight everybody and I've had to fight everything. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Come together and work together. Cooperation is the key. Unity is the key. Connection is the key. Heart coherence is the key. That's the feminine. That's the feminine. Has to come through connection with source. Oh. We are here to save us ultimate love. What saves? Love saves. And we just become a conduit for that. And in that, sure, we can claim savior status. We can affirm and ask for recognition within that. That's okay. That's all right. But it's love that saves us. It's our connection with love. And when we connect in that place, then we need no recognition and we need no sense of being a savior. And I've said it a few times that if you continue to tell a storyline where there's a savior, where there's a hero, in order to have a hero, you necessitate a villain. To keep speaking towards there being something wrong, to keep speaking towards there being something that needs to be healed, you give power to the wound. You give power to the disease. You give power to that which is only there because we've put it there from our intentions and our thoughts in the first place, from our misalignment. All things being created equal, all things being true. Love is the key here. Love is the core. Hold on, I've got a friend who's struggling. Let me see if I can get her to come in. Oh, I invited her. See if she sees that and she shows up. Let's just send out this wave of love. So many people are in this struggle. They're feeling the intensity of this energy. They're feeling the push of it and feeling like they're faltering. Let's just send out this immense wave of support and love. This immense wave of being there in any way, shape, or form that any person on the planet needs to feel right now. Step into that place of being the channel for this energy, of being the conduit for this energy, of being the crystalline structures that flow love as an energy. Emotion, energy and motion, that's the feminine. Flowing through all of this. Let's just send that massive wave of love to anyone that needs it right now. Massive waves of support, massive waves of compassion, massive waves of heart coherence. I've got you. I've got you. You are so supported. You are so loved. I've got you. I believe in the highest possible expression of your experience in this moment now. And in that highest possible experience of your moment right now, it's the same as everything within the whole. It doesn't have to go against anything. There's no lack here. Everyone can be feeling that intensity of that divine love, of that greater love. Everyone can be feeling that now in that moment, in this moment, in all moments. We are frequency and vibration. We are this energy flowing through. We are the energy that matter is. Matter is just energy. We've already proven that scientifically. There's no matter. It's all just energy. It's all just energy vibrating at a certain frequency to come into the density that is form. That's how any of this has any power over any other part of this. They think they can control the weather systems? How do they do it? Vibration and frequency. That's how they do it. So if the vibration and the frequency of love is stronger than what is being broadcast in any sense of fear, love will always, always, always be greater than fear, because fear is simply something that's within love. Hi, Peter. Welcome. Thank you for being here, brother. So grateful for everyone that's shown up. I'm so grateful to hold this space, because we're all doing this in our own ways. And that's another thing to acknowledge that there's no one that is the highest at this point. We're all here equally, shining our lights, shining our hearts, shining our love, loving our shadows, allowing ourselves to be our shadows, allowing ourselves to witness and hold space for any of the healing that needs to happen within that, accepting that. Radical acceptance of all of the political parties, radical acceptance of all of the corruption, radical acceptance of all of the ways that creation has gone astray from this connection with love. Radical acceptance because we recognize that the only way that that's happening is within the wounding and the pain of being in disconnection. Sin just means without. It just means it's out of alignment and it's disconnected. It's in discordance with love. It's in discordance with the original energy of creation. And it's painful when we're in that space. It's painful because it's like a wound within the body, a wound within the flesh that points out and tells our brain there's something wrong. This needs healing. This needs attention. This needs medicine. What medicine do we bring to it? What medicine do you bring to a mind that is out of accordance with love? What medicine do you bring to a mind and a heart that is out of connection with the divine source that created it? That is blinded and can't see and can't understand that that divine connection is always here. It's never left. It is the very fabric of reality. And that doesn't matter if you believe in the word God. It doesn't matter if you believe in it from any scriptural description of it, although you can find it in scriptural descriptions. We've spoken this to ourselves many times over. We've written it down. But even in that, it's gotten distorted and it's gotten misused and it's gotten taken into places where people who thought that they could grab the one ring of power and own it all, they missed the point. But when they do that, that is what the crown of thorns is. What would you crown yourself with a crown of thorns, and what's it going to do? It's going to pierce your skull until you bleed down your face, until you realize that the blood is dripping in your eyes and you can't see anymore. And it hurts. But there's roses on that crown as well. And perhaps the scent of the roses, which is the feminine, can bring us back to the awareness that we don't have to hurt like this anymore. And the reconciliation of Lilith and Eve is to recognize that they are one and the same being, that their husband in Adam and Christ, they go back to the Christus Sophia, they go back to the Sophia, they go back to the beginning, they go back to the origin, and they recognize that there is no competition between the two of them, and that we are equal. God has no gender. To say we have to battle, to say we have to be at war, there's nothing at war in that original divine source. There was nothing in war. Thank you, Peter. I'm grateful to be the channel for this. I'm grateful to be the presence. And I recognize and I witness and I know those who are watching right now. And I'm speaking to all energies and all beings who are witness to me now. You know, you've asked for this. You've asked for us to step up and command you into the highest states of love. But we don't need to command you. We don't need to command each other. Love is the only command that we need. Love is the only law that we need. And when you become in connection with love, when you become that river, when you become that flow, everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you think is in accordance with that, is in alignment with that, is in heart coherence with that. That is the Christos Sophia within human consciousness. That is the return to the divine union within. That's where we bring this all back to peace and all back to harmony. That's where we realize that we have the choice. It doesn't matter what storylines we said before. It doesn't really even matter what prophecies we prophesied. It doesn't matter what we thought we saw in the future, because the future is all based on the present moment. And in the present moment, we can change everything in the blink of an eye. In the twinkling of an eye, everything can change. And when we recognize that and we realize that we are not set on rails, that nothing has been written in stone that cannot be broken. There's storylines that we wrote down, and we continue to try to believe, and we continue to try to, some people are trying to bring that to pass because they think that that's the way through. But it's from a heart of goodness. The only reason to bring these things forward and bring these prophecies forward that are these fallen prophecies is that there is an intention to bring it back around to the good. There is a belief that we have to go through this suffering and we have to go through all of these storylines in order to get back to the good. But I'm here to tell you and hold this space as divine energy that it doesn't have to be that way. We can make the choice in the moment. We can rewrite it all right now. We can choose to change it in a moment. The Hadron Collider, looking to see if there is a multiverse theory. There is a multiverse theory. Every potential timeline, every potential storyline exists in this present moment. Which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to follow? Anything could happen. That's beautiful, actually, that God gave us free will and choice. But if you think about that, wouldn't God want us to choose and recognize the best possible scenario where everything is good and everything is reconciled and everything is brought back to the best possible love story we could tell? Of course, everyone wants that. Really, in our heart of hearts, everyone wants that, and everyone's trying to say that, and everyone's trying to show that, and everybody says, I have the path and I have the way. We all do. Can we be in agreement that we all do? Can we all be in agreement that there are many paths up the mountain, and that if we want to stand on the top of the mountain and watch the sunrise and watch the sunset and watch and marvel at the night, the morning star and the evening star, the full moon and the new moon, the celestial heavens, all of the planetary and star systems that are only visible to our human eyes at night, within the womb, the night, the darkness, the feminine. We can only see all of that when it's dark, when the sun writes his love story and sets so that the moon can rise and have her time in the night. It's all good. It's all beautiful. And when we stop judging and we stop pointing fingers and we stop shaming and blaming each other, we can come around to a place where we say, well, wait a minute, I'm going to stop shaming and blaming you. I'm just going to witness and hold space and tell you I love you. Does it matter whose fault it is? It's all our fault because we're all one. We're all the same. We're all in this together. We all created the problems, and therefore we are all responsible for the solutions. We can all take responsibility. We can all step into this space. We can all recognize the things that we've done wrong. Bring something up that you feel ashamed for right now, personally, and let's just bring it into our hearts. Let's just bring it to the table. Let's just bring it forward, and let's just forgive each other right now. We don't even have to tell each other what this storyline was. All of us can just know and see and feel it. Something we're not proud of, something that we've done. And when we forgive each other, when we say, I forgive you, I love you, it's okay, I accept you, I wrap my arms around you, and I nourish and nurture you, and offer that love to you unconditionally. What does it mean to have unconditional love? Unconditional love means that we recognize that the love exists regardless of what we do. And we've been trying to prove it. Prove it that you unconditionally love me. I'm gonna mess up right here. I'm gonna mess up, and I'm gonna do these things, and I'm gonna do these horrific things, and I'm gonna create these horrific things. Do you still love me? Unconditional love means that the love is continuously present. But it also doesn't mean that we continue to condone and keep doing these things and keep making these mistakes when we know better. When we know better, we do better. So we know better. So why is it so hard to do better? Is it because the energetic way that things have become entangled have set things in motion? Karma is just the energy in motion of the things that we've done in the past coming back forward, and we're presented with them again on the spiralic nature of reality in order to take another look, in order to reconcile, in order to apologize, in order to forgive. And we've done this, and we're doing this. It's all happening now. How many bits and pieces of that do we have to play out, though? How many bits and pieces of it within your own life do you think that you need to play out? If somebody's done you wrong, do you need to have retribution for that? Do you need to have justice for that? Do you need to have that person show up and see them suffer in order for you to feel better? Do you? Would that make you feel better? And if you recognize your oneness when they suffer, when they hurt, don't you realize that it's hurting you right back? If we were to create a nuclear war, we're well aware, we're intelligent enough, we are wise enough as human beings to be aware that if we were to bomb another country with a nuclear weapon, that the fallout and the effects that happen on this planet affect us as well. We're wise enough to recognize that and realize that. That's not a true show of power. That shows lack of power and lack of control. That shows that you've given into this darkness that has said, I need to best. I need to kill my brother. Can we forgive Cain and Abel? Can we forgive every single bloodline that has caused a wound, that has killed, that has murdered our brothers and sisters? Can we forgive? Right now, in this moment. 7 times 70, can we forgive? I forgive you. I forgive everyone within any bloodline that has affected my bloodline. I forgive every single one of you. And I love you unconditionally. Unconditionally, because I know and I recognize we are not this flesh. We go beyond this. We are infinite beings. Energy just keeps going. Energy is infinity. Yet we can choose to experience within infinity whatever we want to experience. Do we want to continue to experience famine and death and viruses and horrific destruction and fighting over who's going to be the president and stand up and say, I have the power to do all of these things and decide how much you're going to get taxed and how much your labor and your moments within your life are worth? How do we play this all out? Come back to forgiveness, I'm told. Come back to forgiveness. Let's just forgive all of that. Forgive all of that. Love that. I love you unconditionally. Trump, I love you unconditionally. Biden, I love you unconditionally. I love you both unconditionally. And I trust and believe that whoever becomes the president of the United States is hearing all of these messages. Whoever is behind the scenes, because really a president is just kind of a front person, right? Are they not? They're kind of a puppet. We've known this. We've seen this. And in that, they've been playing into this system of lies and deceit to keep things going. To just be the puppet on the stage. We've known this for a long time, and yet we put so much weight into this process of electing the right person who's going to do the right thing. What if every single person was called to do the right thing? What if every single person on this planet was called to come back into the reconciliation of love, to come back into this heart coherence? Every single person. Every single one. Would it matter who's president? We're all going to do the right thing. I got a message early on in 2016, despite the shock of Trump becoming president, because from what we were seeing, he was a representation of everything evil and everything bad. But the message that I received from Source is that when Trump starts doing good, when someone who even has shown to be wicked of heart starts doing good, so that all can see, so there is no debate. It's not false news. It's not false representation. It is a true flow of love coming through that person from source creation. The highest possible potential of that being here on this planet. Then we would know. And let's just address it, because there are people on this planet who are following a satanic storyline, but the satanic storyline is out of the darkness comes the light, the true light. Every single storyline knows that this reconciliation back to love, this reconciliation back to what is good, is what we're shooting for, what we're aiming for. It's the target of all of us, because we do realize and we recognize that the true power within humanity comes from love. It comes from our connection. Every single mind and heart is getting this message in their own way. And it's up to us to choose how long, how many generations forward it takes for us to get this. How long is it going to take for us to exemplify that as living beings on a living planet that's breathing with us, that we are intricately intertwined with, physically and spiritually. I feel them. I feel the struggle. Do you feel the struggle? Do you feel the struggle within? Do you feel all of this? And do you feel the ways that it is being reconciled within our hearts right now? And every single stream of consciousness is bringing this up in any way that we possibly can. We're all saying the same thing. We're all here as voices for love. Because love is speaking, screaming in our hearts, screaming in our minds, screaming through all of our bloodlines, screaming through all of it, that this is what we've been attempting to connect with this entire time. The true sense of power, the true sense of having any influence on this planet goes back to our connection with love. Everything is good. It's all working for the highest good. It doesn't seem like it, but even those things that challenge us are working for the highest good because they challenge us. They make us take a look at it. Whoa, what was that? We hid that away. We thought that we were able to present or produce something that isn't seen. Everything is seen. In the true light, everything is seen. Nothing is hidden from God. Nothing is hidden from divinity. Nothing is hidden from source. Nothing is hidden from love. Nothing is hidden at this inner level of awareness. And in that, we can let go of any sense of shame and blame. We can let go of any sense of feeling guilty or feeling ashamed or feeling less than worthy. Because in that space, we are already unconditionally loved. We are unconditional love. We are what we seek. We are that. We are the representation of that. We have the potential to be that. I'm going to give it space for just a minute. Because it's hard for me to even focus looking at the screen, because the transformation that's happening right now, the transmutation, transfiguration, transition, there's nothing that needs to be changed in reality. It all already is that, and has the potential to express as that love. There it is. There it is. This music. Estás toné. This music. So beautiful. So heartfelt. I am in awe of this artist. So, all of our creations have the potential to be this potent, to be in this much alignment with love, to be in this much alignment with the most powerful energy that there is. What created us, humans? And why? What's our purpose here? We're always asking that question. Who am I? Why am I here? To know thyself is to be able to transcend the self and to come back into oneness, to come back into unity consciousness, to come back into a space where there's no need to have any individual self. That is the only reason that any of these creatures, humans on this planet, would try to create any semblance of control over the totality. That all comes from self. That all comes from an individual spark within the whole saying, I can be the ultimate wave within the whole ocean. I am the whole ocean. But I'm only a drop of water within the whole ocean. All the other drops have just as much equal influence. Every single one. And that's why it kind of feels like, whoa, things keep shifting and changing, and one form of that suddenly takes precedence because it's exerted itself more powerfully than the rest of the waves in the water in the ocean. Or multiple drops connect up together to create a wave to try to influence the whole. Recognize that any way that you're trying to influence the whole is a reflection of what's going on inside your own heart, that is pumping the blood through your veins, that is what keeps your body alive. But we're not this body, are we? We're spirit here in this body experiencing, but does that make this experience any less important? Why are we here on this planet in these bodies? What are we doing on this planet? If we really want to know and we really want to tap in, then we have to understand Gaia. We have to understand the earth. We have to understand the nature of nature. The nature of nature is to nurture, to nourish. Even in death, even when animals eat each other, or we eat plants, it's part of the whole, nourishing the other part of the whole, being in service to. But we lost connection with honoring that, respecting life, giving life to life. And instead we stepped into the space where we thought we needed to dominate and control. We don't need to. True wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. Socrates said that. And here we are so many years later, everyone's still trying to say, I know what's true, I know what's right, I know what is. Like even me, even this live stream, you know better than I do. Every single one of you has a brilliance and a light in you that knows exactly what you need to know in and of your own self. Connected with the higher self, which is God, which is Source, speaking through each and every single one of us. We're all here in this beautiful dance together. We're all here to embody that, to bring our spirit into our body. But when we bring our spirit into our body, when we start to really feel that, to feel our bodies, to feel the connection. When we talk about getting away from that, the sin of the flesh, don't feel, don't be in there. Well, hold on, that goes back to that creation story too. Originally, Adam and Eve were not ashamed or embarrassed about their nakedness or their sexuality. They weren't ashamed by their enjoyment of being in the Garden of Eden. They were enjoying. It is good. It's okay that it feels good. It is good. But then when we started to look at what could potentially go wrong, then we went, wait, whoa, should we be ashamed of this? Who says? Why? Why would we be ashamed of it? Why would we feel guilt? Why do we place that on each other? Come back to the beginning, come back to your heart, come back to the feeling, come back to the recognition that it's all good. It's all good. And when you reconcile that and you bring it back around, and I can hear now, oh, well, you know, things that are happening, murder is not good, pedophilia is not good. That pushes us to recognize, whoa, that's not the way to do this. That's not the way to do this, because it hurts. Not only the one that is being hurt and abused, it hurts the abuser. A perpetual pain cycle. But we can reconcile that. We can bring that back around, because what is the abuser looking for? They're looking for some sense of pleasure, even within a sense of pain, even within a false sense of control. That's all they're looking for, is that feeling of love, that feeling of acceptance, that feeling of thinking that they have some say or some control in all of this, that they matter, that they're worthy of having some kind of attention. It's a call for love. So it's being said that those who are in power want us to command them back into this perfect state of love. Command you to come back into this perfect state of love. I command you to be the highest potential love that you can be, to be the true highest form of empowerment that you could possibly be. Where does that reside? A true king or queen or empowerment or anything that we've looked at is in service to the whole. The only reason we give anyone power over the whole is because they are supposed to be in service. With great power comes great responsibility. You're responsible for those you think that are below you, beneath you. You are responsible to offer care and take care of them, not to distort and lie and just take all of the energy for yourself, because that's been painful, hasn't it? That hasn't brought you any sense of pleasure or completion. Not truly, not honestly. It's all illusions and it's all false. It's all false. And I know that you see it, and I know that you know it. If you didn't see it and you didn't know it, you wouldn't be begging us to command you to come back to love. Because you recognize that you're just in service to us. You are in service to us. And in that, in being in service to us, then you've got to recognize you're there to provide the greatest possible good for the whole. It's not within selfish attainment. Sure, you've woven through the mysteries. You figured it out. You found it. Thank you for recognizing what vibration and frequency can do. Bravo. What's it for? Why? Why would you go there? The highest expression of that, the highest form of that, is always love. It's always in support of love. You can be in the playgrounds and play around with all of these other things, but it's always going to bring you back to that. And in that, let's hold space and let's witness. Let's witness and hold space, for the good that has happened. So many people are posting, oh, look at the good that Trump has done. Look at the good that Biden has done. Look at the good that these people have done. And then it's, the great rush to disprove that. No, they're not. They're evil. They're horrible. They're terrible. How could you stand behind that one line of thinking? We've got to be in this perpetual battle, don't you know? My side's got to be right. We've got to keep fighting. Someone's got to win. What if love actually wins? If love wins, everyone wins. Love is for the greatest potential for all. The best expression of masculine action, the highest form of that would be to show up and be the greatest possible father, male aspect, male energy that could show up on this planet. What would that be? Go ahead, look at all the scriptures, look at all the stories, put that all in front of you. What would that be? A wrathful, vengeful, angry, jealous God? Are you kidding me? Come on! Get over it, finally. Why on earth would anyone want to bow down to a father who was wrathful and angry and jealous and didn't even understand his creation, created man and woman at the beginning, but they were fighting, created an imperfect state of existence where his own children are suffering and hurting and in pain at his own hand? That's not the greatest God. That's not the greatest father or mother energy that ever could be. Come on, you can't believe that. Love is the greatest God that there could ever be, because love truly does not seek to harm. Love truly seeks to enliven and to bring out the best in, and to support and nourish and nurture. And sure, there may be senses of, let's look at the cycles. Things die, right? Natural cycles of things die. Plants and animals die for other beings to eat and continue in life. That's not an evil thing, though. That's a perpetuation of the cycles of things continuing. But then again, it's also shown up as being very violent. Predators attacking prey, forcefully taking life, forcefully taking that energy. What a crazy planet we live on. But we're here and we're supposed to be better than that, right? Because we can be aware of it. We're aware of it. We're aware of it. And we're aware of what we're capable of creating. So what are we creating? What are we choosing to create? What are we choosing to put forward? Who are the most wise and intelligent human beings on the planet right now? And in that wisdom, isn't wisdom connected to a sense of compassion and empathy? It's being the greatest, most amazing human is someone who is actually very compassionate and empathic and connected and in service to the whole. Isn't that what every line of thinking would actually say? Look at me, I'm doing the best, I'm doing the most for you. I'm the most in service. I'm the best human on this planet. I'm providing the most amazing example of what humanity could potentially represent. What would that actually be like? Do you think that the most wise and intelligent human beings are ones that are sitting in rooms, in hidden rooms somewhere, plotting how they're going to create some virus to kill off hundreds of thousands of people because there's just too many people on the planet and we think that we can't sustain this many people, and so we're going to choose which of the anthills we're going to squish under our own boot? Are those the wisest and most intelligent humans on the planet? Does it hold any sense of logic? if you're even going to use logic to come back around, logistically speaking, how does that affect the heart? To be my brother's keeper, what does that mean? I'm going to keep you in a cage? I'm going to impose my will upon you and tell you what you can and cannot do? Only because it offends me? I'm going to tell you a man can't love another man, or a woman can't love another woman just because it offends me? If I had no idea, if they were living in a place that I wasn't even aware that they were there, it does no harm to me. In fact, it provides good to me because they're loving each other. Two human beings are loving each other. What a beautiful thing. Why are we offended by that? Does it go back to this creation story? Does it go back to Adam and Lilith and how they were fighting and they weren't equal with each other? Could it be that the original first feminine energy creation was something that is supposedly dark and evil, and that we cast this story onto? Could it be that Adam would be so heartless as to say, no, wife, I won't let you be on top and sexually pleasure me and you because I just want to be in control? Have you heard the storylines? How ridiculous is this? Can you imagine a human relationship? Imagine the greatest possible human relationship. Let's take it there, shall we? The most loving human relationship, standing as mother and father. Who are the most loving mother and father? What is the exemplification of that, of the most loving mother and father? Aren't they there for each other in equality? Don't they want to please one another? Don't they want to show up for one another in equality? Don't they have clear communication and able to say, that doesn't quite work for me? Is it working for you? How can it work for both of us at the same time, simultaneously? When they care about the relationship and the connection and the love over being right or righteous, that's where that beautiful love story blossoms and blooms. And they are then the example of the best possible mother and father that could be, that then the children are able to see that they're in this beautiful love with each other, and that they can talk through their differences. They unconditionally love each other regardless of what happens, whether one makes a mistake or not. They still love each other. And they can show their vulnerability, that they do make mistakes, because we as humans make mistakes. That's in the nature of our being. We've made mistakes. If we're made in the likeness and the image of God, God kind of made some mistakes. If you really read the Bible and you read all of these things that talk about God, did God make a mistake? Several. And then he gets angry at his own creation? He's jealous of his own creation? What? What stories are we telling ourselves? But it's all good. It's all good, because then we get to stop and we get to laugh at it and look at it and go, oh, what do we do? Why do we perpetuate these things? This is why so many people have moved away from religion, because it's just like, what? But then we throw the baby out with bathwater, and we lose the things that are good in there. We lose the lessons and the awareness of the connection that really draws us back to this energy, frequency, and vibration that is what has created matter, that is matter. And where does that come from? It's ultimately rooted in love. So it's just love playing out on this stage in so many different ways. But we get to choose. We get to write the script. We get to write the stories. We can rewrite all of this stuff. We can write the greatest human love story that was ever written. What would it look like? Do we need the thrill of having some protagonist come up and challenge us and almost or antagonist almost kill the protagonist? Do we need all that drama? Is that what's fun, is to watch that? To witness that? It's not so fun in real life, is it? Massive forest fires that destroy people's lives. It's not so fun, is it? The hurricane that could potentially destroy people's lives. It's not so fun, is it? Do we need that in order to experience something good and something loving? Let's see if I can bring this back around here. I think it's gonna restart. There. We don't need applause. That's just, you know. Do we want the applause? Good job. Good job, humanity. Good job. Good job for getting through the drama. Good job for creating the drama in order to experience the pain and the suffering, in order to recognize and understand what love really is. How much of it do we need? Do we have to experience Armageddon? Do we have to experience death and destruction? Do we have to experience the Antichrist in order to recognize and realize what we would like to have as Christ energy coming forward? We used to think so. Some people used to think so. The reason why there's a lot of people who are turning against the churches and turning against these dogmatic doctrines is the fact that we're stopping for a moment and saying, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not so sure I want to play this story out. Wait, you cast me as what? Who gets to play these characters? Why do we have to keep perpetuating it and repeating it? We're here now. In the present moment. 2,000 years, 2,020 years later. What about these storylines do we want to play out? What about these prophecies? Oh, we just want to prove the prophecy so that... Good job. You prophesized that and it came true. Good job. You were right. Little ego pat on the back. Do we need that? Or do we want to experience something that is truly, truly good just for it being good? We don't need the recognition. We don't need the applause. We don't need to show that we're the most powerful. We don't need to take that energy away from someone else. We can connect up with that energy directly. We can connect up with Source directly. We can connect with the wellspring of infinite love inside of ourselves. We need no Bible and we need no church. But it's okay to have those things. If we choose to, and we want to, and if it enlivens your life. I'm not here to kill theology. I have no desire to kill theology. I have no desire to kill religion. However, I stand for the purification of all of that. I stand for the awareness and the recognition of taking a really good, hard look at the stories and saying, wait a minute. That doesn't fit. That's not right. That's not righteous. I don't need to tell somebody else who they can have sex with. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not in their bedroom. Who cares? Worry about yourself. Are you jealous? Are you not getting enough sex yourself? Like, who cares? Oh, it's against God, and all these things are happening because we're against God, and all these gays are having sex, and they're the ones that's causing it. No. What a projection. They are not the ones that are causing all of this. The people who are causing this are the ones who are causing this. And they're scapegoating innocent people and innocent energies and innocent lives in order to hide what they're doing behind the curtain. Whoop! Curtain's open. We see you. We see you. We see you. We know what you're doing. We're aware of what you're doing. You can't hide anymore. All of the veils have fallen. You can't hide what you're doing, and I know you feel ashamed, and you're trying to cover it over, and you're trying to prove that you're still good, and you're in control, and whatever, but you're floundering. Give it up. You want to show that you're powerful? You want to show that you're good? You want to show that you have influence? You have to listen to the people now. You are here in service to the people. You are here in service to the greater whole. That's the only reason that you would have any power and should have any power on this planet. Every single one of you. You are commanded back into the law of love. And you know it. You want to come back. You've asked us to do so. Because you recognize and realize that you've lost control and that you were wrong and you made a mistake. And it's okay. We can forgive you. But you have to stop. Right now. In this moment. Stop. And you can go ahead and, laugh at me or whatever. Those energies, those entities, those things that you channel through and you try to throw back at me, they mean nothing to me. They have no power over me because you see, I am standing in the supreme authority of love. I am standing in the sovereignty that you claim that you have. But you have no sovereignty if you were following these energies that have you puppeted on a string. And you know you're puppeted on a string. You know you have no real power. That's why the veils have been lifted. You're ready to give it up. You're tired. At a soul level, you're hurting, and you know. It's why you try to attack, and you try to shift blame, and you try to throw things out. It's why you try to gaslight. Yeah, I know that. I know the psychology too. I know it all well. It's okay. I love you. 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 I love you unconditionally. I love you. I love you. That's what you need, right? Yes, we are commanding all entities back to love. Thank you so much, Aaron, for the communications that we've had. And we are well aware that all of these entities are listening to us and that they are just things that we have cast forward. They are thoughts that we've cast forward, energy that we've cast forward, and we're going to wrap our arms around every single one of them, and we're going to pull them in tight. And this is what the feminine does. This is the return of the feminine. The feminine doesn't need to stand up there and roar like a lioness and say, now I have the power, all of you men bow down to me, especially my sexual prowess. That's what started the whole thing in the first place. That Lilith energy is that toxic feminine temptress, thinking that, she had to use her sexual energy to control man because she felt like she was scared to be dominated by him and controlled by him. Well, let's stop all that. Let's drop all of that. All of those thought processes, all those things that we've cast forward, we created all of that. We created the whole illusion. We created the whole dream. And we're just going to wrap our arms around all of it. And we're going to bring it all back into the heart. And we're going to bring it back into the womb. And we're just going to reconcile it. And we're going to transmute it and transform it and bring it all back into love. Because it's all made from love anyway. It's all made from love anyway. And now we have all that energy. We've transmuted all of that energy. We bring it back around into neutral space. It's just energy. All those thought forms. Do you feel how grateful they are? Bring them back in. Reel them back in. Reel them back in. Wrap your arms around them. Love them. Bring your feminine energy, whether you're man or in a male or female body. Bring this nourishing, nurturing, loving energy. What would the mother do? The stories are all about the father, but what would the mother do? The house is missing the mother. Where has the mother been? The mother's showing up now in all of us. And the mother says, whoa, hold on a minute. You sit down over there and you sit down over there and just hold on a second. Like, you forgot how to love each other. You forgot that you're brothers and sisters and you're meant to love each other. I've been seeing stories about conjoined twins a lot. Conjoined twins that are joined at the brain. Joined with an organ, sharing organs. I think that's a really good representation of how entwined we all are. We're so entwined. We're sharing the same veins, the same blood. We are all the same bloodline. Go all the way back. Humanity is one species. We're all the same. We're all of this planet. We're all children of Gaia in our physical flesh, but then we're all children of Mother God, Creator, Source, Energy, Spirit, whatever you term that, beyond that, that actually created the planets and the whole cosmos. We're all one. We're all in this together. And when we reconcile that and we bring the spirit into the flesh and we unite that, that's our higher self as God coming into our body and acknowledging that. What a beautiful thing to acknowledge that. It's all true. It's all real. It's all right. But we can choose which stories we tell ourselves, and we can recognize the potential that we have here. The potential that we have here on this beautiful, amazing planet that has so much to offer us. You swim in the water and you sit naked under the sun and you feel the connection with what it means to be human on this planet. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. That's where we really start to feel that sense of love and connection. And that goes back to all of these storylines, like, you know, the fall of Christianity, the fall of religion, was to try to subvert and control paganism, a connection with the physical realm, and say that it was something bad because we were afraid of that. That's just the masculine being afraid of that prowess of the energy of the feminine that could overwhelm us all. The feeling, the emotion, the connection with it that could overwhelm us all, and it has, and it's okay. It's such a beautiful thing to have a breakdown. It's such a beautiful thing. You break down and you cry and you surrender and you release and you're just overcome with emotion. You're overcome with that feeling. Your body just gives into that. You just give into that, and you can't control it. You can't contain it. But the same thing happens when you're just in absolute ecstatic, blissful experiences of dancing or making love or experiencing nature, or however that plays out for you. Welcome those who are joining. If you'd like to go back and watch the rest of this, you're welcome to. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. In the present moment, you're receiving whatever you need within this transmission, and you're bringing your energy into this transmission, and this heart coherence is rippling through all of creation, and every single one of us is a part and a piece in this, and it's so beautiful, it's so grand, it's so vast, it's so amazing. And I thank you. I couldn't be here without you. I am you. We are one. I'm just one channel that's speaking this. I'm just a channel that's holding space for this. I've just surrendered into that and offered myself as the voice piece of what's flowing through today. And I'm so grateful for the ways that other people are saying this. I'm so grateful for the ways that other people are bringing this forward. I'm so grateful to witness everyone else's truth. Hello, my dear friend, Kathleen. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a challenge for me because I recognize and I see, you know, that sense of feeling, you know, ashamed or unworthy or unheard or unseen or unloved. All of those parts and those pieces of us that felt that way, and then we hide ourselves away. And we hide ourselves away and we get depressed, and you know, people who get lost in that and end up taking their own lives, they don't reach out. They lose that connection. That is the worst possible thing for a human to experience, is that disconnection from source and from love, from each other. We are speaking as God, Goddess, source to each other. We're here to experience that. We came here to experience that within duality. It's such a beautiful thing to experience that as all of these human beings on this planet having this experience together. What if you could control the weather? What if you could control the weather? What if this hurricane was somehow linked to somebody's ability to control the energy on the planet because they think that they can subdue and subvert and create chaos? And what if you could? What if you had that much power? What would you do with it? This is greater than asking you if, what would you do if you won the lottery? How would you spend the money? No, what if you had the power over the energy of creation? What if you had the power to kill people with a very thought? What if you had that power? Would you exercise it? What would you do? How would it come through you? Would it be a force of love? What if you recognize that that same power that could kill, that could destroy, that could take away, also can create, can nourish, can nurture, can offer beautiful, amazing experiences of blissful interaction? And that you don't have to have that destruction in order to have that beautiful, amazing, blissful love interaction. What if we could recognize and see that we have the potentiality to work with this physical planet in order to feed everyone? We have the potentiality to work on this planet in order to recognize that what we see as being resources that we can put some dollar sign to, that we could control. What a beautiful thing! What a beautiful thing! We could grow food to feed everybody. We have the potential to do that. But we do every day. How we speak to one another is a life medium to life and death. It's so true. How we interact in every present, how we are present in every moment is our choice, is our voice of how we flow this energy. We are that creation experiencing itself in every single moment. Yes, the divine intent of duality is to come into divine union, the alchemical marriage, to come back to oneness. When you experience duality, you recognize that it's a feedback loop, that you're experiencing that infinity between self and other. There is no other. What you do to another, you do to yourself. The golden rule, do unto others as you do to yourself. When you start to somatically feel it, we got into this place where we have to empathically, somatically feel it, what you're doing to others, you're actually experiencing yourself. Thank you for being here, Trisha. I felt you when you first came on and I went, wow, there's a new face, but you're not a new face because we've been together before. I recognized you from before. I just saw you as a friend that had always been around. And it is that simple and that powerful. It's both. It is that simple and that powerful, just recognizing that we have all of the power of creation in every single moment within each of us. Who do we get to be here? Do you learn to play guitar like this? Wow, how many people can play guitar like this? Stas Tonnier, he's a master at his craft, right? You'd be a master at whatever it is that you do, just because it's so beautiful to experience that, to flow that, to bring that forward, to be of service to humanity in that way. And therefore, you're in service to yourself in the sense that you've given yourself over to experiencing that full flow that full flow of creation coming through you. It's an and. It's all an and. We need to stop with the or. It took me a long time to vote yesterday. This or that. This storyline or that storyline. What do I believe? What am I going to cast my vote for? How do I set my energy forward? And recognizing how incredibly powerful our energy is. Just a simple vote. The etymology of chaos. Gaping void, empty, immeasurable space. Order out of chaos. So if we're trying to bring order out of chaos, we're trying to bring some manifestation, something out of the void, immeasurable space. Is that the masculine trying to subvert the feminine? Can't it just be an open, empty void? Immeasurable space? I've been in that place. It's blissful. It's blissful when you just step into that space and you just feel it. But then you come down out of that space and you go, whoa, I'm in a body still. I'm here still. I am the infinite within the finite. To what purpose? To experience love? To experience being here? To experience everything we could potentially experience? What's the best possible life that you can imagine for yourself and everyone else? It's the best possible experience. If we all wrote that down, how much would it dovetail? How many things would be repeated? What's the best possible life you can experience? What are key core things that humans value? What do we value? Yeah, chaos is meant to be womb-like. The feminine is vast, it's everything all at once. The masculine then seeks to bring it into a pinpoint focus, because then we can witness it and experience it. It's both beautiful. It's all beautiful. What are some key components of human existence? What do people value? Do we value family? Do we value being able to, what does it mean to have family values? That the mother and father are there? That the children are cared for and loved? That the parents are cared for and loved? That the children love their parents? That there's an energy exchange? That there's a love exchange? That we get to experience that together? That we get to teach and learn together? Our children teach us too. We're not just teaching our children teach us. My children have been the greatest teachers of mine. What a beautiful experience. Is that a common human value? Families? Isn't that what we're always trying to protect? Isn't that why any country would try to have all of the resources, so that they know that their family gets to receive those resources and experience abundance and plenty? Do we have to take those resources away from another family in order to do so? Do we have to take that energy away from another being in order to experience the energy that we think that we need? Core moral values. Isn't that what we continuously are arguing over? Who's right and righteous? Who's doing the best job of providing that? And then we categorize it all down into jobs. We're providing jobs. Jobs for what? Jobs to earn money? Jobs to be cogs in the machine and spend 8 to 10 hours a day away from our family just because we want to be able to work to have the money to be able to feed them and take care of them? When we could spend a fraction of the time if everyone came into alignment and recognized that we could co-create this beautiful experience on this planet of producing all the things that we need, all of our basic needs, in a very short period of time. And everyone would have work to do, but maybe they would do it not in a way that they're removed from their family, where the children are them being raised in schools and daycare centers, but they're sad because they don't get to spend the time with their parents. And the parents are sad because they don't get to spend the time with their children, and they work all day, and then they're tired, and they go and they pick their kids up. I used to be a preschool teacher, trust me, I know. And they're tired, and they come and they pick their child up, and their child is tired, and they're both hurting because the ultimate goal of why they even went to work in the first place, the love, the connection, the time that they spend together, has been stolen from them based on a system of how we've created what we think that keeps the society running. And so then we have politicians saying, oh, I've provided all these jobs for you, that have stolen away the time with your family. Is that a good thing? I've provided all of these things. We've given all this money to the car industries. Do you drive past these lots of new cars? Lots and lots of new cars. Are they all going to be driven? What are they worth, too? Good God, what are they worth? More than some families can even afford. Homes, what are homes worth? More than some families can afford. So you work and you toil and you have these jobs, and oh, it's so great that you have these jobs, but you can't afford to have a house for your family to live in. You can't afford to buy food to feed your family. You can't afford to buy good food, clean food, organic, holistic food. No, you can afford to buy some junk, filler, that's full of sugar, that doesn't nourish the body at all. And then you're malnourished. So you're not able to think straight. You're not able to think clearly, but you better get up and go back to work the next day in order to try to buy all these things for your family. And the people in power will stand up and they'll say, they've done all these things for us. Look how great I am. I'm doing all these things for you. I'm providing all. Believe it. And we're locked in this perpetual prison of society that we've created. And what we really yearn for, what we really long for, the time with our loved ones, and to be able to be loved and to experience life. You know, you work for years to be able to take a couple weeks of vacation to go and explore this beautiful, amazing planet that we have. Are you kidding me? Now I've earned my vacation time. Now I get to spend some time exploring this planet and being with my family. Are you kidding me? While some people, very few people, have all these mansions and all of these cars and all of these things that they don't even need. It's not fulfilling their hearts. They don't feel better for it. It's good to have a home when you're sick and happy, providing for your family. It's good to have a home when you're well and experiencing a joyful experience with your family. It's good to have shelter from the storms, from the weather that causes us to suffer in extreme heat and cold. It's definitely good to give, yes. It's good to receive. If everything is good, we're getting that message that, it's all good. Everything is good. Bring everything back to good. Reconcile, bring everything back to good. Let's look at the specifics about what that means. If you had billions of dollars, and those billions of dollars could provide comfort, relief, food, care, and even entertainment and fun to the people that you say that you are here to be for, and you withhold that, and you don't use that energy that is money is just energy, and you don't use that energy, that money, to actually take care of the people who are in your care, what good are you? You good to yourself? You receiving the pleasure from those many homes and many cars, and are you receiving the pleasure from the drugs that you buy to numb yourself off because you know that what you're doing is wrong? What do you want me to say to you? You've asked me to come forward. You've asked me to hold this space, and I know you're listening, and I know that you're watching me, and I know that you were witness to the conversation between Aaron and Ryan and I this morning, and I know that you've asked us to come and command you into love and command you into these spaces that you claim, that you say, that you know. All of this occulted information, occulted wisdom and knowledge that you have that has supposedly risen you to the top. The top of what? The top of a pile of shit? What are you the top of? What are you the top of? People are suffering by your own hand. People are suffering and hurting by your own intentions and things that you've put forward, and actions and inactions. You are receiving all of that back right now, are you not? You are in suffering, immense amounts of suffering, because you've caused these things. And you think you don't know how to reconcile it? Bullshit. I call bullshit. You know how to reconcile it. If you have access to all of these awarenesses of go back into Samaria, some of you are angry with me. I know you're angry. Some of you are angry. Go ahead, be angry. Feel the pain. Feel what you've caused. I love you unconditionally. I forgive you. Does that empower you more? Do you think that empowers you more? What are you going to do with that power? Is that true power? The things that you follow and that have empowered you are linked up to God, are they not? Truth be told, scriptures, the things that you've written, the things that you've written to try to confuse humanity, the things that you've written to try to distract and distort and take all of this energy. I feel you trying to drain me. I feel you. I feel you. I'm tapped into the wellspring of infinite love, and you could siphon as much love as you want through me. You could siphon it all through me. And guess what? I know, hollow reed vessel, that I'm going to be filled first for you to siphon that through me. I have to be filled first. I see your illusion. I see your illusion that you think that this physical vessel would then pass out without the blood that you think that you provide, but it's false. It's false. It's all false. It's all false, and you know it, and it's crumbling and it's falling, and you're grasping at straws because you've attached yourself to a power and control system that has been illusionary from the beginning and is ultimately getting its energy from the source that I've tapped into. And you're aware of that, and you know it, and that the true source that I've tapped into is the true source that has created any sense of power that you think that you have. You answer to that. You answer to love. Ultimately, all of these mysteries that you've been following, all of these things that you've been following, is still a creation of the ultimate energy that you call God. Don't you think that that sees you and knows you? You are part of that. Don't you think it could command you back to the beginning in the twinkling of an eye? There, yeah, you're right on the edge of the breakdown of it. Do it. Do it. Give in. Break down. Break down. What do you think you're going to have to go through? Hell and brimstone? You've already put all of us through that. We've already gone through all of that. What other suffering don't challenge you on that? You could bring all this suffering to innocent people who are protected now by the word of love and God. You have no power over us any longer. The spell has been broken. We are all the Son of God. Those of you who think you're in power, let's do something fun here. The Yellow Submarine, that movie by the Beatles. Remember the blue meanies? on your nose, a rose, a rose. Fern Gully, where she plants the seed and it grows and it overcomes all of that. That's what you're asking us to do to you right now, because you know you're tired and you're ready to give up. You know that your power only comes from the ultimate source of love. Everything else is illusion. It's false and it's falling away and it's crumbling. And I know you're actually grateful for it because you're tired of holding up the farce. You're tired of fighting. That's why it's all coming about this way. Wouldn't you like to experience the true bliss and pleasure and love that you were trying to create? It's okay that you got fooled. It's okay. We all got fooled. We fooled ourselves. It's okay. I forgive you. I love you. I forgive you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. Thank you. I love you. Unconditional love is where the true source of power is. It's where the true source of power. You know it. You know it. It was built into your plans. Order out of chaos. Give me a break. From darkness to light, true light is shining through the word now. So, you want to show that you're a hero? You want to turn it around and you want to show that now you're the good guy so that you can get the pat on the back, you can get the applause, so that you think you don't have to go through the pain and the suffering that you've caused all of humanity? If humanity could see now all of it, why would they want to put you through that pain and suffering as well? Because that's just a perpetual loop. You want to be off the hook? You got to bring it all forward. You've got to present it all. You've got to take responsibility for it. Do you think you need to suffer? Do you think we need to suffer? Do you realize that we suffer when you suffer and you suffer when we suffer? Is there an end to it? Yeah, I'm just some crazy woman off in the woods on a live stream that says there's only 2 people watching me. This is pretty good, huh? It's pretty classic. I'm sorry that you're suffering that, Carl, but that's good that you have that awareness. That body, you're choosing to allow that body to give in and that you come back. It's all just transformation. We could heal all of that. You could heal all of that. You could disavow that and heal that and stay in that body if you wanted to. You could regenerate that body. We could transform these bodies into exactly what we want them to be. Our consciousness is that powerful. We can transform matter. We can transform reality. That's what these people in control already know. You could transform reality. You can alter every single molecule in your body right now. You could state, I'm perfectly healthy. We could completely dismantle COVID in this very moment, if we chose to. It's all a thought creation. But it's on this physical plane, in this physical planet, and we've believed in this being real. I'm sorry that you're experiencing that. I'm sorry for anyone who's experiencing the suffering within the flesh. What if we didn't have to? What if we could be in these physical creation bodies? What if New Earth is actually another version of this, where the pain and the suffering didn't exist? We just experience what it's like to be in material form, spirit in material form, joyfully expressing the potentiality here. It's no one's fault. There you go. That's exactly what needs to be said. No one is to be blamed. No one is to be shamed. We're all free. Isn't that what Jesus supposedly died for on the cross? To free us of our sins? Didn't that already happen? Why are we still experiencing that? Why are we saying we could still sin? Why are we saying we could still go through this process of destruction, disconnection, separation, if it all already happened? We need Jesus to come back? Remind us? Do we need Jesus to come back in a body? Do we need Jesus to just come back in consciousness? And can we recognize that it's not just Jesus, that it was also Mary? Christos Sophia is both. You're still here. I don't think very many other people are. But it's okay. That's okay. It's all good. It's all good. And in that, there's a certain light of consciousness that wants me to think that I just flipped over and failed. But because why? Because I told the truth? Because I said it like it is? Because I just stated it and came forward and I didn't cover it over with anything? Because I targeted you directly? Because I targeted those who are within collective consciousness that have the awareness of all of this, that could transform and change this in an instant? What if you shared that wisdom? What if that was your redemption? What if you shared that wisdom and that knowledge right now with collective consciousness, everything that you know? The occulted wisdom suddenly open to everyone. He is, yeah, he's here. He never left. We're starting to recognize and hear, when people die and pass over, even if they hadn't attained the mastery level that Jesus did, we can still feel them. We can still hear them. We're still in connection with them. They still send us messages. Jesus never left. He just transformed and hasn't been in a physical body because he's like, whoa, okay, all right, they're not getting it. They're not listening, they're not getting it. That song, The Sound of Silence, they're not listening. Perhaps they never will. But we are listening. We hear him. Many of us know and feel his love. And that is the return of Christ, the Christos Sophia within all of us. Sure, every superhero is the same thing, but like I said before, if you have a superhero, then do you have a supervillain? We're dealing with duality here. What if we drop all of that? What if we drop the entire storyline? What if we recognize and realize that Christ and Sophia is in every single human being? What if Christ and Sophia came back embodied in every single human being? Not just one. Not just one. Every single human being. Can you imagine? Christos Sophia in every single human being? Can you imagine how beautiful that would be? Yeah, it's both hero and villain because we all have potentiality of that. We all have potential that we could flip and we could turn into some mass murderer or something. That's the nature of human consciousness. We get to choose. That's our free will. But it's painful when the free will is out of alignment with divine will. It's painful. It pushes us to be back in alignment. It encourages us to be back in alignment. It encourages us to greater empathy and awareness. A lot of people are saying that we need to keep suffering in order to purify. Apparently, we think we do. What if we flip the script and we need to enjoy and be in bliss in order to purify? How much fun would that be? How different would that be? Serial killer, but I prefer toast and set. See, there you go. We can laugh about it. We can have some humor about it. We can be lighthearted about it. In each present moment, if we just find a way to nourish and nurture ourselves and everyone else around us, then that's it. We've done it. Script flipped. Do we really need to see all of these people who have created all of these atrocities go to jail, and then we got to have people that have to, man the jails and put all this energy and effort towards retribution, justice? Or do we want all of the atrocities to just stop? Let's stop. Let's just pause a moment and turn it all to good. What if we suddenly just started loving all of the children, loving all of the women, loving all of the men, loving all of the animals, loving all of everything, loving all of creation? What if we just stopped in the moment and then restarted again, just loving it all? And then what could we experience? I like the way that you've been saying this, Aaron. The most divine perspective knows that the consciousness is constant spirit sex, and it's meant to be heavenly. That's what we're created for. Originally, Adam and Eve were not ashamed of their nakedness, and God said, go forth and multiply. How are they multiplying? You bet they were having sex. Sacred sexuality. Enjoyment. There's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. It's amazing. If we bring that energy forward and we acknowledge any way that that's been distorted, do we need to round up all the pedophiles, or do we want to just stop? Boom, boom, done, stopped. I don't need to play hero and go track them all down and lock them all up, cut their penises off. Do you? Just stop. Turn the children over to loving, caring, nourishing, nurturing, mature, evolved, heart-centered people who will take care of them and love them and provide a good space and a good home for them. The true retribution of that, the true reconciliation of that, is for those people's hearts to open up so wide that the empathy in them and the compassion in them just floods them wide open. If they're on the floor crying because they feel the pain of what they've done and what they've received, people who do these things have been the victims of it. The victims become the perpetrators. Don't they deserve compassion? Yes, we want them to stop what they're doing. Stop the cycles. Just stop. But wouldn't we also want them to heal? They're someone's son or daughter. They are this energy of God that has come through them. All of the evil in the world is still just energy of God that's been distorted. And I don't have to say God, just love, just energy. Potential, pure potential. Pure potential that could go either way, that could create anything, that could be anything. And it chose to be that. Or it fell into the influence of the perpetuation of the energy that continued to believe that those things needed to exist. Because it's a cycle and it's a perpetuation of all of those things. What if we just wrap our arms around all of that energy and wrap our arms around all of those thoughts and all of those projections and all of those things that we've put out, and we just reconcile it and we just love it. We love it back into alignment. It's done. It's done. It stopped. And now we're going to love it back into alignment. And now we get to clean up the mess. Now we get to... let's change the story. The heroes and the villains suddenly turn into the cohorts that go, whoa, wait. We kind of made a mess of things here. We need to put our energy towards fixing it. How do we fix it? Let that be the reconciliation. Let that be how the energy changes. We get to fix it now. There's a lot of work to do in fixing it, isn't there? There's a lot of work to do. The way we've set up our cities, the way we've set up our structures of what we agreed upon for society to be, there's a lot to fix. There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of reward to reap. There's a lot of benefits for that. There's a lot of experience in doing that. People coming together and in cities, vertical gardens, learning how to grow food and nourish and nurture each other, coming together and spending time together with friends, recognizing that we can all be friends. We could all be friends. Don't we all want more friends? Who wants more enemies? Raise your hand. Do you want more enemies? You want to be an enemy? I don't want to be the target of anybody's negative energy. I have no enemies. None of you. I have no enemies. I love you all unconditionally. I love you so, so very much. And as the Divine Mother energy that's coming through, all I want to do is see you thrive and see you be the best possible version that you could be of yourself. Isn't that what a mother and father would want for their children? And you're mother and father to me. Every woman is mother to me. Every man is father to me. Wouldn't you want to see the best children? And as children of each other, don't we want to love our parents? Isn't it fun to love our parents? Isn't it fun to gift our parents? Isn't it fun to nourish and nurture them and to take care of them in the ways that they've taken care of us? To give back and to give forward? What an experience. If we put all of our energy towards that, put all of our energy to recognizing the differences that we have and celebrating them. Hey, you like country music? Beautiful, wonderful. I'm so grateful you get enjoyment out of that. I like this guitar music. Beautiful, wonderful. It's so great I get enjoyment out of that. Thank you to the people who are creating music, to the people who are creating art, to the people who are just flowing this divine love energy and showing up in ways that are just so amazing for us to witness and experience. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it amazing? And sure, there's going to be grief and sorrow and pain and things still. There's going to be loss and suffering in the sense that when somebody dies or passes over, it's like, wow, this physical being doesn't get to be with that physical being anymore. And we can grieve and be sad, but then we also recognize that we're just energy and I'll see you again and you'll come back around. If everything is good, it's all good. Everything is working for the highest good. Imagine everything working for the highest good. Imagine whoever wins this presidential election in the United States is actually going to work for the highest good. Rather than being all upset and saying, well, my candidate needs to win and I gotta, this side needs to win, da 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 da. Let's imagine every single ruler that we've given power to in one way, shape, or form of every country all of a sudden becomes the most enlightened beings on the planet, the most loving beings on the planet. Can you imagine? The people that we give that much power and control over actually take the responsibility seriously and they become the most enlightened, most aware, awake, intelligent, wise people that are tapped into this stream of consciousness because they chose to hold that space and hold that office. What would they all do together? Imagine that all of the money and all of the people that hold money all of a sudden wake up and go, I have so much potential to do good in the world. So much potential to do good in the world. What am I going to do first? It's like Ebenezer Scrooge times a million. How many millionaires, billionaires, people with enough money to be able to influence and provide a positive, good experience for the people around them in the communities that they live in? First and foremost, their neighbors around them, first and foremost.
When I look into the mirror of my life and see.
Wow, I've been talking for a long time here. This is looping back around again. Maybe this is enough, huh? Is this enough? How many hours of live stream of it's all good, it's all love do we need? And then there's specifics out there that people are focusing on. And they've moved beyond this point and they're focused on the specifics. So, I've done my part. I've said my piece. I've offered my flow. Book of Your Heart by U2. I love that one too. We all stand together, no regrets. Nah, let's not regret because that just locks that energy into the past. Let's just forgive and look at it and say, wow, I could do better. I could do way better with my time and my energy and my intentions. I know me as just a person, aside from being this channel for you, I could do way better. By my family, by my kids, by myself, by the people I love in every moment. But then I also, hey, we're doing the best we can in every moment. We're doing the best we can in every moment. Compassion, empathy, acknowledgement for that. May we all find a greater alignment, flow, and harmony of who we are, why we're here, within the totality of the whole, to be of service that is the greatest fulfillment of ourselves to give to others. Thank you for being here with me, seen and unseen. Thank you to all of creation for hearing this message and stepping in with me. Thank you for providing the landscape for me to say that. Thank you to those who are in power and watching and present and know, for stepping into your highest love being, the highest potential that you are within a human body, with all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you hold. Thank you for doing what is good and right simply because it's in your heart and it's good and it's right. And because you will receive the reward that is the most pleasurable and wonderful within yourself when you do that. But don't do it for that, right? Do it because it's right, just because it's right. To see the joy and the love in everyone else around you. To see the ripple effects of what you create and what you put out around you. What a beautiful experience. What a beautiful experience to be alive on this planet right now. All right. Thank you all. I love you. I see you. I feel you. I appreciate you. I honor you. I respect you. I cherish you. And I'm so grateful we're all here together, because not one of us could do it alone. Have a beautiful moment after this, wherever you go, wherever you take this. I trust and believe that it's going to be for love and for the greatest good of everything.